Level 0. The Friend's House Gamer. Imagine you're that kid who only gets to play video games at a friend's house. You're like the guy who shows up to the party just for the snacks, not really caring about the conversation or the music. You're there, you're nibbling on some chips, but if they ran out, you'd just go home without a second thought. In gaming terms, you don't own a console, don't have an account, and probably couldn't tell a joystick from a Joy-Con. It's as if you're on the outskirts of Gamerville, occasionally peeking in, but never staying long enough to pick up the local dialect. The only way you're getting addicted at this stage is if someone slips a PlayStation into your backpack on your way out. Level 1. Noob. Carefree. Now you might be thinking, finally I've got my own console. Does this mean I'm a gamer now? Well, kind of. It's like buying a guitar and calling yourself a rock star. You've got the tools, but you're still strumming Smoke on the Water at half speed. At this level, you dabble. Maybe you've played through a few levels of Super Mario or fumbled your way through a round of FIFA. But here's the twist. Gaming is still just a sideshow in your life. You might play for a bit after school or work, but you can easily walk away without feeling the tug of the next level calling your name. You're still blissfully unaware that, for some people, this is the beginning of a very deep rabbit hole. Level 2. The Social Gamer. Picture this. You've moved up in the world. No longer content with solo missions, you've started to rally the troops, whether it's your friends from school, coworkers, or random strangers you've met online. You're coordinating, strategizing, and maybe even smack-talking a bit. All in good fun, of course. Think of it as forming a casual sports team where the only goal is to have a good time. You're not practicing 5 nights a week, you're just showing up, having a laugh, and maybe scoring a few goals. But make no mistake, this is where things start to get interesting. But here's the catch. While you're still keeping things light, there's a little voice in the back of your head whispering that you could be better. Just one more match, right? Level 3. The Aspiring Pro. Now here's where things start to heat up. You've caught the bug. You've moved past casual gaming, and suddenly, your evenings are filled with thoughts of high scores, perfect combos, and unlocking that one elusive achievement. It's as if you've discovered a hidden talent you didn't know you had, and now you're all in. Maybe you've started watching YouTube tutorials or reading strategy guides. Perhaps you're practicing specific moves or playing the same level over and over to shave a few seconds off your time. In this version of events, you're not just playing games, you're chasing greatness. And while it's exhilarating, it's also a slippery slope, because let's be real, once you start down this path, it's hard to stop. The quest for perfection is a dangerous game, my friend. Level 4, the Rager. But here's the irony. The more you care, the more the game starts to mess with your emotions. It's like falling in love with someone who's perfect on paper but has the annoying habit of chewing with their mouth open. You love the game, but it's starting to drive you crazy. When you win, you're on top of the world. But when you lose... Picture this. You're sitting on your couch, controller in hand, and something goes wrong. Maybe you get sniped from across the map, or your character falls into a pit for the umpteenth time. Suddenly, that controller isn't a piece of plastic, it's a brick, and the couch is your personal punching bag. This is the stage where gamer rage becomes a part of your vocabulary. You know it's ridiculous to get so worked up over a game, but that doesn't stop you from letting out a primal scream when things don't go your way. Level 5. The Competitive Addict. At this point, you're no longer just a gamer. You're a warrior, and every match is a battle to the death. Think of it as going from being a casual sports fan to a die-hard supporter who paints their face and memorizes the stats of every player on the team. Your gaming sessions have become longer, your commitment more intense. You're no longer satisfied with just playing. You want to dominate. But here's the thing. It's no longer just a game. It's a test of skill, endurance, and let's be honest, patience. You're putting in hours like it's a part-time job. But instead of getting a paycheck, you're getting virtual trophies and, possibly, a bit of eye strain. In this stage, your friends might start to worry. You're the one who's always online, always ready for another match, and maybe even skipping social events to keep climbing that leaderboard. Your life has become a balancing act between reality and the digital world, and sometimes the scales tip in favor of the latter. Level 6, the Wannabe Pro. Now picture this. You're so deep into the gaming world that you've started treating it like a career. You're not just playing for fun, you're playing to win, to make a name for yourself, and maybe even to make some money. It's as if you've joined an elite club. But instead of secret handshakes, you've got pro tips on how to improve your reaction time by milliseconds. You're doing stretches before you play, downing energy drinks like they're the elixir of life, and maybe even thinking about investing in one of those fancy gaming chairs you've seen on Twitch. But here's the reality check. Unless you're actually making bank from this, you're essentially working overtime at a job that pays in high fives and bragging rights. And let's not even talk about those TTV tags and usernames. The truth is, most of those folks aren't streaming to anyone besides their cat and maybe a couple of loyal friends. You're grinding hard, but the payoff is mostly in your head. Level 7, the life-swallowing obsession. This is where the plot thickens. Gaming has moved from being a hobby to being your life's focus. It's like starring in your own reality show, except instead of drama with housemates, it's all about beating that next boss, or finishing the latest season of your favorite game. But here's the twist. The line between gaming and real life starts to blur. You find yourself planning your day around game time, missing important events because you just can't pause, and even wearing gaming merch like it's your personal brand. Picture this. You're out in public, but your mind is still back at home, trying to figure out how to beat that next level. You might even start to forget basic hygiene because, let's face it, showering takes time away from the game. Your social life? Well, it's mostly online now. You're in deep, and the only thing bigger than your game library is the pile of unwashed laundry next to your bed. Level Infinity, the Eric Cartman special. But here's where it gets really wild. You've crossed into the final frontier, the level of game addiction that only a few brave or unfortunate souls reach. It's like that episode of South Park, where Cartman is so engrossed in World of Warcraft that he doesn't leave his chair for days. In this stage, the game isn't just part of your life. It is your life. You're living, breathing, and maybe even dreaming in pixels. Picture this. You've got your setup so fine-tuned that you could survive an apocalypse without leaving your gaming chair. Meals? Delivered. Bathroom breaks? Well, let's not go there, but suffice it to say, they're efficient. You're in full immersion mode, and the real world is just a pesky background noise. But here's the irony. The more you immerse yourself in this digital realm, the less connected you become to the actual world around you. Your friends might stage an intervention, or maybe they've given up trying to reach you at all. You've become a gaming legend in your own mind. But at what cost?